Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, and these are our daily lectionary readings for Saturday, July 23rd, 2022. We're looking ahead for tomorrow. Our psalm reading once again resides in Psalm 138. Our Old Testament reading, it continues the story of Esther, Esther chapter 4, verses 1 through 17. And then our New Testament reading, we jump into the Gospel of Luke, chapter 8, verses 22 through 25. Let us listen in, once again, starting with the psalm reading. Psalm 138. Thank you. Everything in me says thank you. Angels, listen as I sing my thanks. I kneel in worship facing your holy temple and say it again. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your faithfulness. Most holy is your name. Most holy is your word. The moment I called out, you stepped in. You made my life large with strength. When they hear what you have to say, God, all earth's kings will say, thank you. They'll sing of what you've done. How great is the glory of God. And here's why. God, high above, sees far below. No matter the distance, he knows everything about us. When I walk into the thick of trouble, keep me alive in angry turmoil. With one hand, strike my foes. With the other hand, save me. Finish what you have started in me, God. Your love is eternal. Don't quit on me now. Our Old Testament reading comes from the book of Esther, chapter 4. When Mordecai learned what had been done, he ripped his clothes to shreds and put on sackcloth and ashes. Then he went out in the streets of the city, crying out in loud and bitter cries. He came only as far as the king's gate, for no one dressed in sackcloth was allowed to enter the king's gate. As the king's order was posted in every province, there was loud lament among the Jews, fasting, weeping, wailing, and most of them stretched out on sackcloth and ashes. Esther's maid and eunuchs came and told her. The queen was stunned. She sent fresh clothes to Mordecai so he could take off his sackcloth, but he wouldn't accept them. Esther called for Hathach, one of the royal eunuchs that the king had assigned to wait on her, and told him to go to Mordecai and get the full story of what was happening. So Hathach went to Mordecai in the town square in front of the king's gate. Mordecai told him everything that had happened to him. He also told him the exact amount of money that Haman had promised to deposit in the royal bank to finance the massacre of the Jews. Mordecai also gave him a copy of the bulletin that had been posted in Susa, ordering the massacre so he could show it to Esther when he reported back with instructions to go to the king and intercede and plead with him for her people. Hathach came back and told Esther everything that Mordecai had said. Esther talked it over with Hathach and then sent him back to Mordecai with this message. Everyone who works the king here, and even the people out in the province, knows that there is a single fate for every man or woman who approaches the king without being invited: death. The one exception is if the king extends his gold scepter, then he or she may live. As it's been 30 days now since I've been invited to come to the king. When Hathach told Mordecai what Esther had said, Mordecai sent her this message. Don't think that just because you live in the king's house, you're the one Jew who will get out of this alive. If you persist in staying silent at a time like this, help and deliverance will arrive for the Jews from someplace else. But you and your family will be wiped out. Who knows? Maybe you were made queen for just like a time like this. Esther sent back her answer to Mordecai. Go and get all the Jews living in Susa together. Fast for me. Don't eat or drink for 3 days, either days or night. I and my maids will fast with you. If you do this, I'll go to the king, even though it's forbidden. If I die, I die. Mordecai left and carried out Esther's instructions. Our New Testament reading today comes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 8, verses 22 through through 25. One day, he and his disciples got in a boat. "Let's cross the lake," he said, and off they went. It was smooth sailing, and he fell asleep. A terrific storm came up suddenly on the lake. Water poured in, and they were about to capsize. And they woke Jesus. "Master, Master, we're going to drown." Getting to his feet, he told the wind, "Silence." And the waves, "Quiet down." They did it. The lake became smooth as glass. Then he said to his disciples, "Why can't you trust me?" They were in absolute awe, staggering and stammering. "Who is this anyway?" He calls out to the wind and the sea, and they do what he tells them. And here ends our readings for the day.